Everybody, you've reached Elizabeth and Joanne with World's Cup of Joe, Awaken Your Soul. Welcome to our channel. This is your home for balanced, neutralized energy for your twin flame connection. We will talk about soul all the time in this channel. And the reason why is because your twin flame is your soul. Get into the energy of soul and watch how magnetic you become. It's all about energy. So you're going to be on this channel. You're going to hear about energy. You're going to hear about soul, and you are going to start being in the energy of balanced, neutralized energy that draws in your twin flame. Seriously, look at comments in our videos. You'll see that people have magnetized merely from watching our free content on YouTube. It is powerful, this energy. So what do we do and how do we help those in this journey? Well, we have created a life-changing, and I will always say it's life-changing because that's what it is, a life-changing 30-day twin flame detox program. And beautiful souls that go all in their detox, seriously, their life has changed. We get messages all the time, not only about magnetizing their person back in, because that happens too, but getting to a place of peace and love and self-love that they've never experienced before in their life. And that's why we say, of course, when they've magnetized their person back in, because that's what we teach you. We teach you how to shift out of the energy of mind and get into the energy of soul and become magnetic to your twin flame. And then we organically created a program, a balancing program. Nobody else has one. Seriously, nobody else has a balancing program like ours, if they even do have a balancing. And it was because so many beautiful souls were magnetizing their twin flames back in after they did our detox. And it was like, well, what do we do now? What do we do now? My person just contacted me. What do I do? So it felt so urgent. Joanne and I created an ultimate balancing program that will literally guide you step by step in how to balance the energy so that you never push again, right? You never push again. And we are both in permanent relating experiences with our twin flames. So we watch this energy meticulously every single day so that we never push again. And we want to share and guide you in this journey. So with that being said, let's get on to the question. Here we go. One preference the mind has is coming as a limiting belief. When I started Cup of Joe, I have told Elizabeth that he and I only communicated through text messages. Yes, I saw him in person for 6 months, but that was before soul recognition. The mind is afraid whether it would ever get a chance to meet him in person in this lifetime. The mind says this is all you're ever going to get, these text messages. Your journey is not like everyone else. The mind is also confused why he is not showing his face to me when he wants to see me all the time. My mind has made this limiting belief. It says, being with him physically is not in your cards. You are only going to get him through online. I tried to calm down the mind, saying that the energy is not biased, and when my energy allows, he's going to be with me in person. My mind compares my journey to others who are in this journey and asks, why is it so difficult for me to meet him in person when others run into their persons? Why is it always online for me? This was a huge piece in my journey from the very beginning when I heard other stories. I want to release this limiting belief. How can I surrender this preference at the same time removing this limiting belief that he can only come to me through text messages? I read a community post in World's Cup of Joe channel saying it doesn't matter if you pushed 5 minutes ago, your person forgets and didn't care what happened 5 minutes ago if you align with your soul in this present moment. Let me go ahead and get started. There's a lot to this question. The first part of this question is about how do you sort of surrender this expectation of not getting a chance to see your person in. So you really have to sit with this and remind yourself that this is mine, you're already one. So the fact that you are wanting to see them in person means that you are seeking out the physical of your person, which is not your shared soul. You are going into separation consciousness every time you are looking for the physical. And I really want to emphasize, we all want what we can't have, or the mind will always think it's not good enough. This is not good enough. So for your example, you have text messages all the time. Oh my gosh, so many people in your position would hear that and be like, are you crazy? You're complaining about that? I would kill for a text message. And then someone in your position would see someone else who, you know, we've had actually a few different recent calls about people that are intimate with their person, and like that's where they sort of end up, and they loop in this like friends with benefits situation, and they're frustrated and they want something different, or the mind wants a different outcome. And here you are like, oh my gosh, I want to see my person in the physical. And here these people are, they're seeing their people in the physical, and it's still not enough. The mind will never be satisfied. I mean, people could be in my position where I'm with my person and marriage may never happen. I don't care anymore. But what I'm showing is the mind will always seek something more, because it'll always say it's not enough. I need more proof that you love me. I need more proof that you are with me. I need more proof to feel whole. I need more. And it's never satisfied. You've got to be at a place of peace with what is, because the more you're at peace with what is, the more your soul will continue to be with you in the physical, in the realm of the 3D. You're already one in the 5D. The more you can be at peace with the 3D, the more you can be more in the 3D. But you have to be able to be at peace with it. And so I like quoting this now, and Joanne will quote it too. We're reading Yogananda, and one of the things he says is, when you can release the illusion, you can shift the reality. The illusion is separation. The illusion of this journey is separation, because you are never separate. When you can release the illusion, the separation consciousness, the 3D, so the reality will start shifting, right? The 3D reality will start shifting. And that's what happens. When you can release what the mind is seeing and believing, and you can release that, you can now start getting in the 3D what you already are in the 5D. So now that I've said that, and I know Joanne will cover more there, because I was so in soul in that.
Yeah,
okay.
I felt it, love. That was good.
Yeah, I was. Joanne, what are your thoughts, my love?
Yeah, no, I agree with you, love. So there's a couple things that stood out to me really, really like crazy strong. I want to remind this beautiful soul that not too long ago, you would have done anything, and I mean anything, for a text, for a call, for a message. You would have done anything to even know that your person knew you are one, right? To even be acknowledged, to even message, to hear from your person. That was like everything you wanted. And now you have it, and now you're wanting more. And what I want to show you is, when you got the text, when you got the messages, and you're getting the calls, you got them when you had, and I'm going to repeat it because this is how the connection works. It's just energy, right? You had no expectations, no preference, and no judgment. It is when we start to have expectations, preference, and judgment towards the way that a person should come to us is when they fall. The reason why is because that is not soul. You are the observer of your one shared soul. So when you're saying, I need to see my person, you're looking to your person as though they are separate, and you're now seeing the duality of your connection, when this is a non-duality connection. This is oneness. There is no separation. There is no person to see, because your person isn't the physical body that you will see. Your person is your one shared soul that is. It doesn't need to be seen. And it reminds me of this beautiful soul that is such a badass. She surrendered. Okay, so let me backtrack. She's been like trying so hard, or trying to see how she could ever see her person again. It was like, I'll never see my person again. I'll never see my person again. I've never seen them. It's been years. And there was this deep moment where she freaking surrendered, you guys. Surrendered so much, she manifested a sighting to see her person when she didn't want it. So that's what I want to remind you. This isn't a soulmate connection. This is not where You dream and dream and dream and dream so much that it'll happen, and then magically your dreams comes true. No, it's the opposite of that. It is, I don't give an F about this thing that my mind keeps showing me over and over, and the part of me that sees it separate from me is not me. So therefore, I'm going to be present with what is unfolding in front of me and be really still with that, because my person is not separate from me. So it totally matches that quote that Elizabeth was saying. When you look at the illusion, because that's what the 3D is, it's temporary. Everything in the 3D is temporary. This is the cool part of this journey. So when we have clients that says like, well, my person has a third party, my person is just my friend, my person, and me and Elizabeth are like, that's 3D. That changes and moves around you based on your energy. And why do I say that so confidently? Because we've helped so many of you beautiful souls who has all the stories, who has all the breakdowns, right? You can give us the same breakdown. You, my love, the person who actually asked this question is the perfect example. You would have done anything for a text, anything. If we told you your person would be texting and calling you nonstop, you're going to be like, you would have been like, no, not my person. That's crazy. I wish he would do that. And now you're like, yeah, he just does that. He does it because it's like the norm. Well, your person being in your physical space, when you release that part, the part of you that needs to see your person every day, is the part of you that will see your person every day. Same exact way that beautiful soul, the one I gave you guys an example on when she surrendered her person and saw them the next day, that's the energy. And so I really want you all to feel into this connection. This connection is soul, my loves. It is your one shared soul that is uniting and is united in the 5D. And when you can recognize that this is only all soul level, literally all soul level, and the 5D matches your 3D experience, when you are being that 5D energy, so much so that you couldn't have ever predicted your person reaching out to you and contacting you. You had no idea. When you reached out to us and was like, hey girls, he's coming in like really, really strong. I never knew this was possible. When I followed everything you guys said, I didn't think it was true. I like literally gave up in this journey, right? I remember you, love. Well, I want you to remind yourself that same like immersion into your inner work, same one where it's like, I don't care. I don't care if I ever see them, hear from them, or anything. I choose me. I surrender to me and my soul. That's the exact energy that allowed your person to text you. And when you start having a preference, and that's a really big preference, I need to see them in the physical. I need to see them in the physical. It was the same thing where I need to hear from them. I need to get a message from them. Those are the energies that puts your person away from you because you're looking at them through separation consciousness versus I am my person and I never have to see the physical aspect of my soul to know we are one. And you can feel into your oneness. You could feel into your oneness that is so sacred and it's so pure that you can feel that their mind and body is not them. Because when you are together in the physical, so this is how you get into that next level, just like you got into the next level, this part of balancing, you got into the next level of being able to get the texts, to get the messages, right? This is balancing. We call it the big leagues. For you to even get there, my love, you have had to surrender so much in your journey where you were okay never to hear from them again. And bing, that's when they message you. Bing, that's when they're like, can you unblock me, please? Hey, when can I see you, right? That's the energy. And then now you're back to, I have to see them. They're not going to want to see you. They're not going to want to see you because you're seeing them separate. The more you see yourself as the whole soul that you are, the more and more you can become your person. And that's where your person is there too. So all these things that sees the 3D, well, he needs to do this. And it brings me to in the beginning. So when I was talking about in the beginning for you, my love, you wanted everything for this to be possible. Elizabeth, hearing her talk now, love, I saw her physically telling me he's never going to change. And there was a moment she called me on the phone, and this is why we created our maintenance bundle, all of you guys. The reason why we created our maintenance bundle, while you're balancing, we know balancing is hard, so that's why we created the balancing program. After detox, your person comes in, you need to balance. Well, we created the maintenance bundle because that's where, once you figure out how to balance, that's where like the triggers come in, and that's where the hard work really comes in to not push. Well, Elizabeth, she would call me in panic and be like, he just wants to be with everyone else, and he's gonna meet this like fancy girl in a restaurant, making up all this stuff, right? And that was her like worry. That was her mind's fears, and it was like so clear, and it was so crazy. And that was when her person would not come as much. He'd come in and then he'd pull again. He'd come in and then pull again. And it wasn't until she fully, and I mean fully, surrendered him. She surrendered him fully to where it's like, I don't need you to be at peace. Every time you come to me, I'm out of my peace. And now, those things that she was hoping her person would change, right? Finances. I can go on, my loves. Finances, even the way that they connect, and things he says now is like crazy. Even planning vacations. I'm telling you, my loves, this is someone that Elizabeth said, oh, he's never going to do that. Oh, he's never going to, do these things with me. He's never going to. And now it's like, of course he will, because he's me. And hold on, love, before we go, I want you to share what your person shared with you recently when you were in that oneness. And it was something about like immersion or something. Do you know what I'm talking about, love?
Well, I told you that I don't even remember the exact verbiage because I
that's
really
that's how quickly you lose it.
Yeah, that's how quickly I lose it after I heard him say it, because I really try not to ruminate on the good, right? Just like we're not supposed to ruminate on the bad, because either one is duality in your mind, but it was basically something about like I could immerse myself in you, and I was just like, what? Like twin flames, like this stuff is said.
Of course.
When you are in this place of peace, when you're in this place of complete and total, I need nothing from you. I'm one. Yeah. I am one with my soul. And that's the same way they feel. And so when we say this is not a romanticized connection, we mean that. By all means, we mean that. But there's these few things that will fly out of our people's mouths when they're in the oneness with us. That is like such confirmation of what this connection is. It's not romantic. When he said it, he didn't mean it to be romantic. I truly believe he said it as in, there is nothing that I could do to be close enough to you, right? In the physical, because it's like we are, and this is the one thing that's so different with this person than anybody else besides sharing the soul. Because we share soul, it's mind, body, and spirit connection, where with everybody else in the 3D, it's never going to be the spirit portion. It's mind and body. You can connect with soulmates, you can connect mind and body, but you'll never get to that place where you're connecting on a spiritual level like this. So that's the difference. And it's like this just energy that is only felt. And when you feel it, it is like there's nothing in the physical that could ever bring us as close as this spiritual connection that I'm feeling. Like, what is this? And they don't know how to verbalize it. So it just comes out in these really almost like these beautiful ways that the mind wants to romanticize, but you can't.
Yeah, you can't. You absolutely can't, because it's not romantic. It's simply soul. He's speaking about the energy. And that's why we do what we do, love. Me and Elizabeth love teaching and guiding this connection through energy. When you look at it in an energetic standpoint, you really look at it, because we've had 2 big calls yesterday. And both of them were the same thing. The underlying ways that they're balancing their people goes back to, you're in the stories. This is an energetic connection. And as soon as they shifted back into soul, they can see that it wasn't personal. It's always based on your energy. And this is a connection with your soul. This is your soul. My person said, I know this is weird, you guys, twins, right? He said something crazy yesterday and I had to like do a double take. He's reading The Alchemist. So my person, when Elizabeth said she's doing all this great stuff about herself and her person is matching it, I don't know why. His work is making him do this challenge and it requires him to read spirits like books. And some of those books are spiritual in that list. And one of them was The Alchemist. And he told me there was a word twin flame in there. And he said, that's what you talk about. You talk about twin flames. And I said, what did it say in there? And he said, somewhere in there in the text, it said that you would meet your soul if you are advanced enough, something like that. You know, my person is very 3D. His words are very 3D. So it's not very spiritual at all. And then he said something really deep, like so deep. And this is an example of not to romanticize at all. He said, and you can't judge. I want to give you those two examples. He said, well, that makes sense. And again, this is my person who is asleep and still like learning, right? Learning how to recognize all the stuff we all know. So it sounds funny when you hear it, that your person asleep saying this stuff. He said, well, why wouldn't, and it sounds so beautiful, why wouldn't the soul choose to meet itself? Because he was saying when you come back, when any soul comes back, they choose their path, right? For the best experience. And he said, why wouldn't a soul choose to meet itself? And it was like, oh, I swear all the doves and the angels flew like all around me in the car. And I saw his face pull. Like a big
Did he really? He pulled when your angels flew?
You guys, you cannot have angels fly in the car when they say those profound things. And
you've got to say erase, erase, erase. You have to be able to let it go. You gotta go whoop, right? You gotta go whoop. Like you it's like swallowing and making a big gulp of water where you're like, oh, pull it in, Joanne, keep it inside. That is exactly why I don't remember what my person said, because if I were to have sat there and like ran it over and over and over in my mind to be able to remember it, it would have been ruminating. So it was like, oh that was nice. Okay,
I had to balance it. I had to like wooza it, because my mind then went back and said, well, that's what our soul chose, babe. Like, remember, twin flames. But remember, my person's asleep. So it just made me like, oh, isn't it so frustrating to know you're one, to know they are your person, to know they can confirm you're one, but you can't like jump over the moon about it. You gotta kind of be like,
yeah, you have to be really indifferent about it.
Neutral. You gotta be neutral. And so that's why it's really funny when we get message from you guys, when we hear from you and your person says like, oh, well, we're the same person or we're one, and I knew that you were different and you changed my life. And you guys can go inside yourself, because that's how we handle these profound experiences. And we just say, of course, right? Of course. And you wooza those things. And so that's my point for you, my love. Our people pulled and pulled and pulled and reacted to our addictive energy in a crazy way possible, to where they never talked this way. And so what I would say is your 3D conforms to your alignment in the 5D. So the more aligned you are, the more aligned your person will be in the physical to you as your one shared soul. And then in each of those experiences, you're going to balance them. You're going to wooza at them, right? Like kind of like I did. Keep the doves under wraps. You tell those doves to like chill. I don't need doves in my car right now. We're trying to just chill. And then I went back. I remember actually physically looking at the trees and watching the trees sway back and forth. And it was like, I got to wooza this, because this is my mind, because our mind likes the romance. My mind likes the romantic story, while my soul just is. And my person just is. And he's sharing what we are, just is. And it's enough, and it's beautiful, and there's nothing I need from him to confirm what we are. It just is. And it's actually, when we wooza those profound moments, it becomes kind of like, yeah, I know. And it's not push. It's awesome. You kind of like get confirmation from God that you're one. You get confirmation from your soul that they're your soul, without really having to lose yourself in the energy. It really becomes deep, where it was like, wow, did he just say that? Nah. And then you're like, eh. And it's almost like someone's watching you, like you're being recorded, because it was just so deep. Because they never talk like that. They're so asleep. And so when they give us these oneness moments, they can confirm what we are. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I get those more and more now than I'd ever been before. And I hear Elizabeth. You guys, Elizabeth's person told her, what did he say about the squirrels, love, about grounding?
Oh, that he needs to make sure that any house we have has the outdoor similar to what we have now, because he needs to have his animals around, his squirrels and his chipmunks, because they help ground him.
Yes, her person who doesn't like to talk spiritual or grounding or like any of this woo stuff, right? He just said that to her, and I was like, what? So your person, my love, will change the way they connect with you, the way they are, for everything, right? Someone who doesn't ground, someone who, including my person, he's the same way. He's changed the way he works. He's changed the way he works out. He changed the way that he connects with me. He's changed everything. And it wasn't me changing him. I want to repeat that. It wasn't me telling him, hey, I need you to read this book so you can be better. Guess what did it for him? Soul, my soul, our soul guided him as I align. So it was like, I'm seeing him crazy with work, and I know what can fix him with work, but I'm going to be present. I'm going to be. And then our one shared soul showed him the path to the best experience of his work, the best experience of his relating experience with me. Everything worked through me inside out. I worked on me, and then the physical, my person, as well, is working on him. So don't ever think you have to change your person or do anything for your person. Your one shared soul is going to do all the work. It's it's your person. You think that your one soul is going to let him F up and be lost and not guided? He too is being guided from your alignment. It helps him the most. We never, ever have to tell our person, hey, you shouldn't do that. You should do this. Right? Even in the toughest situation, the craziest situation, we watch our energy and our person figures it out. Our person gets the benefits of our alignment. And it's a confirmation of the journey. It's a confirmation of how powerful you are as a divine feminine to be the dictator of your energy. And in return, your person gets the benefits of your alignment. And your one shared soul guides the way, not only for you, but your person too. So it's a win-win. You align with you. You're not pushing. You're aligning with you. Your person experiences the best experiences from your alignment. We love you so much. Man, this video got deep. We love each and every one of you. We hope you have an amazing day. Bye, love.
Bye, love.